Welcome. With this new episode of the channel, Mystery Yonder, we would like to give you a gift for the year that has passed, and to wish you a positive start to the new year. With the opportunity of the New Year's Eve party, we wanted to tell you a creepy story linked to this day. Precisely at midnight and 1 minute of each first day of the year. The story of the Drake Hotel in Chicago, one of the most haunted in the city, and which in a few days will celebrate its 100th anniversary. The Drake Hotel is one of the most famous buildings in the city of Chicago. Built in the early years of the past century, it was inaugurated on New Year's Eve in 1920. Since its foundation, the Drake has experienced a continuous rise, especially in its first decade of life, and has been purchased in 1980 by the famous Hilton Hotels Group, which by investing in the hotel has restored it to its former glory. The hotel still maintains an Art Deco style. Long corridors with gilded trimmings, crystal chandeliers, damask wallpaper, deep-toned woods and soft lighting that cause a yellowish penumbra, and staff in livery. For someone an example of elegance, for others an environment that has something disquieting. Obviously, the longevity of the hotel, and the considerable number of people it hosted, has created many stories and legends. Most of them are stories of holidays in Chicago. Stories of business, of lightheartedness, but also some gruesome story, which perhaps have impregnated the walls of the hotel with the pain of the protagonists of these tragedies. In 1944, Adele Williams, a woman of rich society in the city, coming back to her room with her daughter, was surprised by a woman in a black dress, who, upon the arrival of the two occupants of the room, pulled out an ancient gun, aiming it with murderous intentions. The mysterious woman shot in the direction of Adele's daughter but missed her. The two terrified victims tried to escape from the room. Young Williams succeeded, but her mother Adele was shot in the head by a second gunshot, killing her instantly. The murder weapon was found by the police in their hotel stairwell. But what makes this story mysterious is that the spare key of Adele Williams' room was missing from the rack where it was usually located, mysteriously reappearing at 10 p.m. of that same evening. Adele Williams had jewelry and gold in her room, and $100,000 in cash inside the safe. None of this was touched, and the woman in the black dress was never identified. Many people over the years have reported hearing a woman's screams of fear coming from the room where Adele Williams lost her life. Heartbreaking screams, which makes shiver those who have listened to it. In the mid-1920s, the Drake Hotel welcomed a couple of guests and their tragedy. In 1924, Bobby Franks, a young boy, was kidnapped and murdered by his cousin Richard Loeb and his accomplice Nathan Leopold. The two, questioned, admitted the murder and said they had done for pure thrill of it. At the end of the trial, the Franks, the victims' parents, sold their villa and moved to an apartment in the Drake Hotel to avoid publicity and gossip. The father, Jacob Franks, died of a heart attack in his suite in 1928, 4 years after his son was beaten to death. The mother, Flora, died in the same hotel room 9 years later. Since that time, the spirits of the Franks have been seen and heard numerous times as they wander the corridors of the hotel, terrifying the guests of the prestigious hotel with their tears for the death of their son. But the most recurring paranormal story of the Drake Hotel is that of the woman in red. This story dates back to New Year's Eve 100 years ago, the night of December 31st, 1920. By that time, about 2,000 of Chicago's most influential people had gathered for the hotel's gala, including owner John Drake. One of the guests at the party was a young woman, with a dress of such a bright red that she was remembered by everyone. The woman had gone to the party with her fiancé and future husband, with whom she was madly in love. The two stayed together for most of the evening, but at a certain moment the man walked away, leaving her alone. After some time, the woman began to wander around the different rooms of the hotel, and passing into the Palm Courtroom, she saw her boyfriend at a table in a corner of the room. Approaching the crowd, she surprised her future husband hugging another woman, busy in passionate kisses. The young woman burst into tears and ran away to go to the 10th floor of the hotel. From there she opened a window and threw herself into the void, killing herself. Since that moment, the ghost of the woman in red haunts the rooms and corridors of the hotel. Many witnesses have heard the woman's crying and seen her ghost running between the rooms on the 10th floor, or in the Palm Court, and even jumping from one of the windows on the top floor of the Drake Hotel. The ghost of the woman seems reliving the pain of that tragic evening forever, thus terrorizing people who have the misfortune to meet her spirit. Most of the paranormal experiences described by the witnesses would have happened at midnight and 1 minute of the New Year's evening. Despite this, the Drake Hotel enjoys fame and notoriety, and welcomes thousands of guests every year, and dozens of American rich society parties. One of the most important holidays of the year is a New Year's party. But there are other opportunities where galas and masquerades are organized, some of those with a bizarre tone. The Drake Hotel is definitely a place to visit if you're in Chicago, whether you are a lover of the paranormal theme or not. We hope you enjoyed this story, and we wish you all a pleasant end of the year and a fantastic new year, where you will still find us here to tell you about another mystery. Happy New Year! And we came to the conclusion of this video. I guess each of you has your own idea. Leave it in a comment and tell me, is the legend real? Give a like and subscribe to the channel, Mystery Yomba. Other videos are coming soon. Don't forget to share these fascinating stories with friends. See you at the next mystery.